The other day in Memphis on a Friday, a reporter said to me, you know, I've been covering you for a while, and I've never heard you call something racist. I've never heard you use the issue, the word racism. You focused on other points to an argument. And that's because I've reserved it for an occasion where it truly matters and where it's true. And I have always felt that it was a privilege to serve in this body, first as a House member and now as a senator. While we don't agree on a lot of issues, a lot of them are partisan, I have always felt like it was a privilege. But at this moment, being called back to this building during this time to do what is being proposed to me is something that I cannot be proud of. I don't think any of us should be proud of. There's no way to sugarcoat eliminating a district that is 61% black and breaking it up into 3 different districts. You are deliberately trying to silence the voices of a community that is, you know, drawn in a way that expresses the intent of that community, that allows those people to pick someone, a candidate of choice. And I'll just say this, it's time out for us in this legislature and for folks in this legislature for choosing the people that get to vote for them. It's supposed to be the other way around. So I've struggled with this. I've said, I've had to pray about it. I've had to pray, like, how can I even be kind to my colleagues? Because I want you all to know that whether or not, however you justify this, this is an act of hate, okay? When you take a black population in Memphis, and they are black by virtue of them being the demographics of the city. It has nothing to do with them being a Democrat or Republican. Memphis is a 64% black city. And when you sit in these chairs and you sign onto legislation, you present it and you vote for it that will deliberately dilute that voice, you need to remember what you're doing. You cannot call it anything but racism, okay? I was born after the civil rights movement. I have often wondered what I would do when that moment arose. If I had to face a situation like Representative Johnny Turner, who served with many of you all, who had to count the bubbles in a bar of soap so that she could vote. I think about someone like my grandmother, who was my proudest constituent before she passed, who was born in 1934 and did not get the right to vote till 1962. I think about people like my father, who is an immigrant, who was not able to vote until 2002, who has voted proudly since then, right? I think about the Memphians like Barbara Cooper, who went to the March on Washington, who heard Dr. King's last speech. I think about Lois DeBerry. Today is her birthday. Today is also Election Day. How ironic that we are taking part in dismantling democracy on this day. I think about Senator Thelma Harper, who lied in state on this day several years ago. Do not go back home and feel good about this decision, because what you're doing is deliberately hurting a segment of the population of Tennesseans that you all are supposed to represent. If you look out into the gallery, if you look out into the hallway, you will see the bust of Samson Keeble. That bust is significant because he represents the African-American men that were elected to serve in this body after slavery during Reconstruction. And we all know what happened when Reconstruction ended. We saw an era of absolute terrorism, from Jim Crow to the Ku Klux Klan. We saw black bodies being hung and barbecued. We saw people rising up and going to people's homes and burning down their businesses, burning down their homes. We saw their rights being taken away. It was not until the 60s that another black person was allowed to serve in this body. And now you have 3 black women in this body. I cannot let this moment pass. We cannot let this moment pass and not show you a reflection of what you're doing. You cannot sugarcoat this. You cannot say, well, we just want one more Republican seat. Because that district is not Democratic because it's a collection of Democrats. It's because you have a collection of black people who are selecting the candidate that they choose based on the very serious needs they have, like education, like our hospitals, like our transit, where they are able to get funding very specific to that area. So you may think you're doing this to Memphis. You may think that it's only going to hurt black people, but it's going to stretch all across West Tennessee. when you have rural and urban districts combined where everyone's power is diluted. I'm going to wrap up now, but I just want you all to know the magnitude of this. So please don't come up to us and joke and laugh and smile and all of these things, because that's not what we're here for. We don't even want to be here. Our constituents don't want to be here. We're going to be polite. We're going to be cordial. But this is a line in the sand. If you don't care about our rights at this very basic level, do not expect for us to extend any sort of courtesy to you beyond what is required by the rules of this body. Now, I have been here for 13 sessions. I have never felt this way in my life, okay? But I am not playing, and neither are we. You all may win this battle. You may win this war, but history will not look back kindly on you when you had an opportunity to do what was right and you chose to do something else.
Excuse me, Leader.